I think, yeah, let's, I'm just going to say that, welcome to Learn the Birds. And our presentation this evening is from Diego Oscar, and it's about birding in Argentina. And I'm going to let Diego introduce himself because I am awful at introducing people. And I don't like being introduced myself either. So I will hand over to you and let you take it away.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Derek. First, thank you for the opportunity to show our country to all these people. It's with me on the talk, Walter, who is a member of our team. Yeah. And my name is Diego. I'm the owner of Sandpiper Birding and Tours. It's a company who offer trips for bird watchers here in Argentina and in other parts of South America, but Argentina in special because we live here. So, and we are going to talk today about Argentina as a birding destination. Yeah, I know if you compare with other countries in America or like Brazil, Costa Rica, Peru, Argentina maybe is not the best place for birding, but we have plenty of species and a lot of things to discover on this talk. So I wish show you to everybody about this destination. Any question you can send on the text box. Yeah. So we are going to start, and I like to start with this first slide, and this small brown and boring bird. I don't know if you can identify the bird, but it's the. I'm going to ask, how can identify the bird? Who know this species is? Let me open the chat. Any idea? Rufus Hornero, perfect. But Elizabeth was here in Argentina 2 times, so she know very well this bird. This is the Rufus Hornero. It's our national bird. I know other countries like USA have a very powerful eagle, and we have this small brown and boring bird, but it's an amazing engineer. It's very common in all our country, and it's very easy to find because he lives in all the parks. And if I go, I'm at home now. If I go outside right now on my backyard, I can find 2 or 3 of them. So it's amazing because they can build a nest with mud. You can see on the picture the mud with the 2 colors. Yeah, because when I took this picture, he was build the nest, and it's an amazing engineer. So it's very representative because they work very hard, and that's very common in this country. And male and female work together to build this nest, and they need only 6 days. So it's amazing. Of course, they start after a big rain. So it's a good introduction to Argentina because too many people land here, our international airport, and say, okay, I like to see the national bird. And it's very common because he is close to the airport. So let's go to start with this. Let me check. Okay. What we going to talk about? First, where we are. Where is Argentina? Yeah. We are going to see an introduction video who talk about not only about birds, speak about our culture, our people, our more important touristical places to visit. Yeah, so it's a short video, a couple of minutes. Why Argentina is a good destination for birding? Yeah, we are going to talk about our important species. Yeah, Argentina have 24 endemic birds, but we have other very important birds, endangered, good to know. We are going to talk about our environment, yeah, the most important environment in Argentina. And after, I'm going to do a presentation of our team and experience on this business. We are going to finish, I imagine, in 45 minutes, 1 hour, with questions, and we can talk about birds and other things. Check it. Okay. Where we are, Argentina is a huge country, really. And we are in the south of South America, yeah? So we have two maps here. The first map on the left with the population density, yeah? It's a bit old, 10 years ago, but it's representative. And at the right side, a map with all the environment. Yeah, it's a map with the environment of Argentina. So I don't know if you can see my pointer, but the capital of Argentina is the Buenos Aires city, who is here. You can see a very dark area, yeah, with the capital have a more density of people. Is the place where everybody land, yeah. We have another international airport in Cordoba. It's another province, it's like a state, but in general, the people land in Buenos Aires city, yeah, and after take a domestic flight to move to other places. Argentina is huge, so it's impossible think to travel by car from Buenos Aires to another birding destinations like Iguazu or the Northwest, because it's too far. You need 24 hours driving, so it's impossible. In general, it's necessary to take a domestic flight, yeah? So we have all the people in general living in the center of the country, yeah? Buenos Aires and the Pampas, yeah? The Pampas is a representative area we are going to see in a couple of minutes. The most important cities in Argentina is Buenos Aires, Cordoba, Rosario, Mendoza. Mendoza is the city where we produce the famous wine, yeah? And in Patagonia, the place on the south of Argentina, is maybe the most wild place, yeah? It's a huge extension of land with basically nothing in general, yeah? So you can see the white gaps on the middle of the map. At the right side, you can see the different environments, yeah? All the Buenos Aires, in general, the environment is the Pampas, yeah? Pampas, huge extension of land, flat, yeah? With only grass. Unfortunately, the good grass right now is for the cattle, but it's a amazing landscape, an amazing environment for some birds like the Pampas mellow dark or the saffron cow blackbird or different endangered species. Yeah, we have at the corner of the Pampas, we have the Chaco, yeah, the dry Chaco, yeah, and after we have a place in the northeast with Atlantic forest, yeah. We share this environment with the south of Brazil, for example, but in Argentina, the forests have a very high level of conservation. We have on the northwest, the Puna, yeah, and more mountains, so we have different species. In the center of Argentina, in this province called Cordoba, we have plenty of endemic birds. It's not a very famous destination for bird watching, but in general, all the endemic birds are in the center of the country, yeah, in Cordoba. We have on the west, Mendoza. The place is the high Andes, yeah, it's the border with Chile, our neighborhood. And after Patagonia, yeah, in the south, maybe the most famous place in Patagonia is Ushuaia. Yeah, Ushuaia is the south, it's the last city of Argentina because it's the gate to visit Antarctica. Antarctica is a famous place, a very tourist destination. So in general, the people who visit Antarctica land in Buenos Aires and take a plane to travel to Ushuaia to visit Antarctica. Yeah, it's very close to Chile, and uh, we have a Chile on the west, yeah, all at the side of the Andes. We have Uruguay on the east, crossing the Rio de la Plata River, the widest river in the world. And we have in the north our border with Brazil, Paraguay, and Bolivia. Yeah. So here we are in the south of South America. Yeah. We are going to see a video. I like share a link of the video on the chat. Let me check. This is the link because I'm not sure if the streaming will be okay. Let's go to play.
You have no sound, Diego.
Okay, if you like, you can open the link on the chat box. Yeah, we are going to spend the video is 3 minutes, so you can open the link to play. Perfect. Everybody can saw the video. I'm not sure if from the streaming or from YouTube, but on the video we saw a fast view about Argentina. Not only about the birds, we saw something about our culture, about our people, yeah, about our landscape. We are very different because Argentina is huge. So the people who live in the northwest of Argentina, uh, it's very different to the people who live in Patagonia. Yeah, they have a different work, different type of life. The environment is totally different, and the birds are very different too. So, for example, in the Atlantic forest, Iguazu and the littoral region, we have three provinces: Entre Ríos, Corrientes, and Misiones, in the northeast. The birds are very colorful because it's the jungle, so the birds have a more water available, and the color of the birds are amazing. So, and it's very hard to bird in because you are all the time looking the birds at the top of the trees and you finish with your neck broken, but it's amazing. On the northwest of Argentina, we have a huge extension of mountains. Of Puna is a high altitude place, so maybe you're birding with a little bit headache, but it's very easy to birding because the birds cannot hide. Maybe after a small a bush or before the rock, but it's very easy to build in. It's the same in Patagonia. Yeah, in Patagonia we have a small forest in the border with Chile, but in general it's an open area. Yeah, and Buenos Aires, the center of the Pampas region, the center of Argentina, is very easy to build in, to really. So, and it's my favorite place. So on this video, we saw two about the most important touristic destination, not only for bird watchers, yeah, in Buenos Aires. So Buenos Aires is the capital, so it's a cosmopolitan city with more or less 6,000 people living here. I live in Buenos Aires. So if you have a night in the city, you need to move a little bit to find a wild environment. Yeah, if you travel 2 hours from the city, you can find good places for birding. And Buenos Aires have a huge ecological reserve called Costanera Sur, who had more or less 300 different species of birds. So it's an amazing place for birding. Another touristical an important point is the West, Mendoza. Plenty of people visit the place to know about the wine culture. Yeah, remember we are in Argentina and we have good birds, good football players, and good wine and meat, of course. Yeah, the food here it's really good and cheap. And Patagonia have a beautiful landscape. Yeah, so it's amazing. Maybe it's the more expensive region in Argentina. It's very touristical, but it's an amazing place. So why is a good destination for breeding? First, I think is security. Yeah, Argentina is a very secure country. So in cities like Buenos Aires, huge cities, you need to be careful, like in all the big cities in the world. Yeah, so pickpocket or robbers or but in general, all the country is very safe. We don't have any problem with our neighborhoods, so it's very safe. And outside Buenos Aires, you can walk on the street with your camera or your fancy binoculars hanging. No worries, no problems. It's very safe. We have more than 1,000 birds, 1,015 birds. So it's a good diversity, yeah, and change a lot if you visit the different regions of the country. Change a lot, but it's a amazing account of birds. In general, in one day in Buenos Aires, inside the city, we can see around 80, 90 species of birds. And we go outside the city 2 hours from Buenos Aires. In one day, you can see 120, 150 species. So in general, another important point is the specialist guides. The business of bird watching is growing up really fast in this country. The people understand they can earn money taking care of the environment, and so the last years, maybe after the pandemic, the people start to work on it very hard. So we have plenty of people who work on it right now. Not only companies about bird watchers. We have specialist guides, local guides. So we are prepared to receive everybody here. So the infrastructure in Argentina is really good. So of course, on the most popular destinations, everything is prepared to receive tourists. So you can find fancy hotels, normal hotels, cheap hotels. The transportation is very good. Maybe we need more trains. Yeah. So in general, we need to move by planes. The distance by car are very far, but planes it's good. So in general, all the infrastructure of the country is really good. The connection is good. Maybe we need to work to try find more flight connection between, for example, the Patagonia to the Northwest. So in general, you need to take a plane to Buenos Aires, land in Buenos Aires, and take another plane to the Northwest or to the littoral. But we are working on it really, really hard. So the last 20 years in Argentina was very hard, plenty of economical problems, bad politician questions, but now we have a new president who is a bit crazy, but is working very well about the economy and the inflation, our most a complicated situation is getting better, fortunately. So destinations, we talk about this. So we have a plenty of destinations. In general, to now this country, you need to do 3 or 4 trips. So it's not enough in 15 days. The idea to know all the country, it's impossible. So you need more or less 2 months or 3 months to know very well all the destinations. Yeah, and our culture. So Argentina was a country who grew up with immigrants. It's very common to find people with a double citizen here in Argentina, like me, for example. So we received plenty of immigrants after the First and Second World. So the culture in Buenos Aires is very rich. You can find everything here. Not only people, you can find all the food, all the music. So culture is amazing, and it's very different if you visit the north or the south, for example. So I think in general, it's a good country to visit. Right now, maybe a little bit expensive if you compare with other countries in this region, like Uruguay or Chile. But the situation is getting a little bit better. Yeah. So I'm going to go. Okay. Talking about birds. We like the birds. So we are going to talk about birds. We have 1,000, above 1,000 species in this country, about 20 endemic birds. So maybe it's not a big count of endemic birds if you compare with other countries like Colombia, for example. Yeah, but here, in general, the endemic birds are in the center of the city. One of the most important birds in this country is the hooded grebe. Yeah, is the bird here on the left of the screen. It's a very endangered grebe who was discovered in 1978. So in general, 50 years ago was recently for a grebe than this size. And it's very endangered. The population is more or less 800 birds. And we have a very important conservation project to try keep alive this bird. Yeah, he lived in Patagonia, in a very remote place. I saw only one time in my life. Imagine. So to arrive to the place where this grebe live is very hard and expensive. The second important bird for us is the yellow cardinal. Yeah, the second picture. He is cute. He's amazing. So yellow cardinal is endangered too. It's endangered because plenty of years ago, the people catch the bird, put inside a cage, illegal traffic. So plenty of problems for this bird. But fortunately, we are working hard to try keep alive. Yeah, this is a bird common to see in places like Ceibas, 2 hours far from Buenos Aires. We have a small population of them to show to other people. Yeah, the black and white mojita, yeah, is another bird very endangered in this country. They have a plenty of problems, like the saffron coat blackbird, the bird who is flying here in the picture, because they need a good environment to live. They need good grass, and unfortunately, right now the good grass is for the agriculture. So the place to live for these birds are very restrictive, and we have only a few places with the good opportunities to find them. Unfortunately, these birds don't have any protection. Yeah, so we try to change this, but it's really hard. And the other, the great area on the right side, it's not endangered really. The population is stable or is growing up because the people not hunt the great area right now. plenty of years ago, the gauchos, the local people who live in the pampas, hunt them and take the eggs for cook. Imagine an egg of a great area have this size more or less. So you can build a big cake for all the family with only one egg. But the population is stable and it's an emblematic bird of the pampas. Yeah. So in general, the people try to find them on the trips. So what do you think? I'm speaking a lot. I need to drink water. So somebody know or hear about these birds before, or is it new information? Mostly new. Okay. Yeah, I think in general, Argentina is not a famous destination. So I like these opportunities to show to all the people about our birds because we have amazing species, really. And in general, it's easy to come here to birding. So the most famous bird right now in Argentina, I think, is the hooded grebe. Because it's really endangered, and maybe the bird will be extinct in the next 40 years. We are working hard, but it's a complicated species. I'm going to try move to the other slide. Okay. Important environment. You remember about the map we saw a couple of minutes ago. So we are going to see here about the environment. The first landscape, the left side, is the typical pampas grass around Buenos Aires. Yeah. On the picture with cattle, because I think right now it's impossible to find pampas grass without cattle. Only in a national park, maybe. But in general, when the people arrive here, can see this huge extension of land flat without nothing or only with cattle. Yeah, maybe one or two eucalyptus exotic trees around only for shade for the cattle, but we have a plenty of birds who live in this environment. On the second picture, we have the wetlands. Yeah, we have a province called Corrientes who have the second Pantanal, yeah, Pantanal in South America. The name is the Ibera wetlands, and it's my favorite place for breeding. Really, it's amazing. I like a lot. In general, it's environment with plenty of lagoons and marsh deers around, for example, with some special birds like the strange-tailed tyrant or the scarlet-headed blackbird. So it's a amazing place with a good infrastructure to visit. In general, posadas or lodge in the middle of the wetlands. So it's interesting. If you visit our country for the first time, I recommend a trip with a couple of days in Buenos Aires, maybe 2 or 3 days to know the city, and after travel to the littoral. Yeah, the littoral crossing the little part of the Pampas, all the Ibera wetlands and the Atlantic forest with the amazing and very famous Iguazu Falls, yeah, in Misiones. So at the left side, you have, talking about the Iguazu Falls, you have the Atlantic forest, yeah, or Paraná forest. It's an environment endangered who we share with Paraguay and Brazil, but unfortunately in Paraguay and in Brazil, the people cut all the forest really, and in Argentina, the forest is alive. Including if you check on Google Maps, you can see only the border of our country only looking the Atlantic forest. It's amazing, the color, the strong green on Google Maps with places with good forest. You can see the border of the country, so it's impressive. But fortunately, we have plenty of national parks, provincial parks, uh, connected, yeah. And in places where the forest is not connected, we have a private land, people who bought the land only to connect the other national parks. We have a place called Biologist Corridor, which is an amazing place to visit close to the Iguazu Falls. And at the right side, we have the Puna and the high Andes. Yeah, you remember our border on the west is with Chile, and we have the Andes. We have the high mountain in South America called Aconcagua, and all this a line of mountains from the north to the south. It's an amazing place for birding too, with a special culture, special people, and it's a good place to recommend. So if you visit our country for the first time, I recommend one of this environment to start. Yeah. And we are going to talk about us, about the Sandpiper Breeding Company. This is me on the first picture. We have a team of 16 birding guides in all the country. Yeah. So they are in general biologists or people who work in science, and they guide the tourists for us. In general, the 50% is women's, 50% men's, and they are special for us because they receive the people and work with everybody here. So we started 10 years ago, more or less, and so we started uh, before the pandemic, and we have a gap from the pandemic, of course, because everything was complicated. But right now we are working very hard, and fortunately, it's going very well. So, so if you like, we have some questions here. So I talk about. Somebody was in Argentina before? How or you know our country? I know everybody know Messi, maybe the football player, or the Pope, who died a couple of days ago, unfortunately. But somebody know about Argentina before, or have you been here in our country? Not only for birding, maybe for tourists. I was in Iguazu. Yeah, Iguazu, the Atlantic forest, the amazing falls. Very nice. So what is the new government position on protecting? Okay, so this is a good question. Thank you, David. We have a new president right now who is a little bit crazy. Oh, a little bit. He is totally crazy. But he resolved the most important problem for us, who is the economy. Really, in 1 year, he do plenty of things to give us a more stable economy. The inflation, for example, 2 years ago in Argentina was 25% each month. So it's crazy, impossible to plan a trip for us, for example. But right now the inflation is 2%, so it's going well. and is decreasing, fortunately. About protection of the environment, I think I don't have a good news. He is a man who tried to uh, uh, earn money or to produce more and more and more. And in general, this is not a good news for the natural environment. Right now, it's okay, but I don't have a good prognostic things about this, about protecting and protecting the the environments. Yeah. What are the best regions and species to see in 2 weeks? So I recommend. So you will be landing in Buenos Aires, yeah, and I recommend spend a couple of days in Buenos Aires, maybe 2 or 3 days, and I like the littoral region, the northeast of Argentina, province like Entre Rios, Corrientes, and Misiones. Yeah, in 2 weeks, you can discover very well these three provinces with a list of more or less 350 species with a guide, of course. Yeah. But another trip could be the Northwest. So you land in Buenos Aires and take a plane to Jujuy or Salta province, yeah, to discover the Northwest of Argentina. In this place on the Northwest, you can see the Andes, the Puna, and the Chungas forest. It's a different forest, like in Iguazu. In Iguazu, you have the Atlantic forest. In the Northwest, you have the Chungas forest, who share the Chungas with Bolivia. Yeah, so the list of birds will be totally different. Maybe some birds like a great kiskadi or the rufous hornero could be the same, but in general, it's too far. So in general, the species are very, very different. And after Patagonia, yeah, Patagonia will be another trip. Yeah, in general, Patagonia places like Calafate with the glaciers, with I don't know, Bariloche or Ushuaia, of course, are a good places to visit. Maybe it's the most expensive trip. Yeah, our region, the Patagonia, is the most expensive region in Argentina. But in 2 weeks, you can choose one of these trips. I recommend the littoral, but it's my favorite place. So I have been watching in Ushuaia, Iguazu. Oh, Margaret, so you are an expert here in Argentina. You can ask about the Argentinian passport if you visit us 2 or 3 times. So you have a good view of our country. Yeah, Ushuaia in Patagonia, Iguazu in the littoral with the Atlantic forest, and around Buenos Aires. Perfect, Margaret. I have a family in Paraguay. Yeah, Paraguay. Paraguay is in the northeast of Argentina. Yeah, the border. It's a country who is in the border of the northeast of Argentina. We have some trips to Paraguay, but it's not very popular, really. So, but if you have a family, you not need to pay the hotel, so it will be cheap for you. What birds will we see in the littoral? In the littoral, so we have two important environments: the Iberá wetlands, yeah, with the most important birds are the greater rhea, yellow cardinal, strange-tailed tyrant, amazing bird. And after in the Atlantic forest, you have, for example, more colorful birds like the toucans, arazaris, manakins. I don't know. So the list of birds it's amazing. Include, if you have really good luck, you can see the RP eagle, for example. We have some records of RP eagle inside the forest. But it's a place with maybe not with endemic birds, because you remember we share the same forest with Brazil. So plenty of birds who live in Argentina live in Brazil too. So we don't have endemic birds in general in the littoral region, but we have a very amazing birds. And if you have the opportunity to visit the place, you cannot miss the Iguazu Falls. Yeah, so it's a a good place. Where is the best place for endemic birds of Argentina? So I'm going to return to the map. So here we have the map on the right side. The center of Argentina is this province called Córdoba. Córdoba has an international airport. Yeah, I think we have a direct flight from Córdoba to USA. I'm not sure for other countries, but we have an international airport. It's the second important international airport in this country. So you have a good connection. And Cordoba is the place with the most count of endemic birds of Argentina. In general, we have a couple of cinclodes, yeah, all rock cinclodes, for example, or we have, for example, cacholote, yeah, white-throat cacholote. So in general, we have 24 endemic species in all the country, and 16 of them you can find in Cordoba, and San Luis. These two countries, these two provinces, it's a good place to try find endemic birds. We have a trip to try see all the endemic birds of Argentina, but the problem is it's too long. So we have a trip for 1 month and 10 days, more or less, to discover all the country trying to find all the endemic birds of Argentina. And this is crazy, really. It's impossible to spend 1 month and a half to try find endemic birds in Argentina. So in other countries, like, for example, Dominican Republic, I've been a couple of months ago, a trip to see all the endemic birds of the country has only 7 days because it's a small country. It's very easy to move in a car. Here in Argentina, it's impossible to do this. So this is the idea. In general, the people ask about endemic birds. They say it's impossible. And the other important endemic birds, the hooded grebe, we saw the photo a couple of minutes ago, is here. I don't know if you can see my pointer. In the south of Argentina, in Santa Cruz province, you have this place with a very high altitude lagoons, yeah, and it's the place where live the hooded grebe. The problem with this place is it's very hard to arrive. Yeah, it's very far. The logistic is very complicated, and it's very expensive because you don't have a hotel. You have only a few specific lodges for, in general, fly fishing. Yeah, and it's very expensive. So we are talking about 1,000 American dollars for 1 day. So it's crazy. And the hooded grebe is amazing, but the place, it's a paramo. Yeah, it's very hard to live in this place. So in the list of the birds is maybe 30, 40 species, when it's the same count of birds I can see on my backyard, for example, in Buenos Aires. So in general, the hooded grebe is a complicated species to put on the list. Include for me, who live here in Buenos Aires, I saw only one time in my life. So imagine. So people, we have more questions.
So it seems
Direct.
like people have asked all the questions.
Sure, perfect. So
And
Derek, when you land in Argentina now?
I don't know. I have, like you, a long bucket list, and if I have to visit all of them before I die, I live forever.
Oh yeah, sure. I'm on the same way. When you have money, you don't have time, so it's impossible to merge the two things at
Yeah.
the same time.
Yeah.
But here we are. If you like, you can follow on the social media to see our adventures here in Argentina. And if you like do a trip here, we are open to help you. It's not important for us if you buy or not a trip. So in general, the bird watching community, it's very it's amazing. So I'm going to help you to plan everything for everybody here in Argentina.
Right. Well, thanks very much, Diego. That was very enlightening, and for sure, it's definitely added to my very long bucket list. And thanks everybody
Perfect.
for attending, and hopefully we will see you again next month.
See you, Derek. See you, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Thank you to hear me.
Thanks a lot. Bye.
Bye bye.